Hold up, wait a minute, let me put some boom in it. Okay, it has come to my attention that our friends on here don't know the difference between vitamins and minerals, and that is okay because that's all you got me, friend. That's what you got me for. So I'm going to explain to you the difference. So vitamins and minerals. So vitamins are organic, meaning that they come from living things. Okay, it has to be living in order for you to get it. Okay. Now, the vitamin was first like introduced by a chemist back in the day. I think it was like 1912. And he kind of discovered it because he associated the link between vitamin deficiencies and diseases. So that's how pretty much how it came about. But the vitamins are necessary for life. And these are, like I said, they are organic. They come from plants. So meaning that we can consume them, we can get them from the types of foods that we eat. Now, they kind of class the vitamins in two different ways, right? So then there's fat soluble vitamins, and then there's water soluble vitamins. So the fat soluble just means that it dissolves in fat, right? So if you're going to eat it, you can eat it with a fatty meal. It will probably help it absorb better. And those are vitamin A, D, E, and K. Okay. So those are fat soluble. They dissolve in your fat. The body stores them in the tissues. The body stores them in the fat tissues and the liver. Okay, so when it comes to vitamins, it can be kind of easy to overdose or to have too much because the body does hold on to them. So when you're taking like mega doses, you want to make sure that you're not taking too much because you don't want to end up harming yourself as a result of that, because the body holds on to them again in the fat tissues and then in the liver. And then there's water soluble, which there are only like a few. Well, it's vitamin C, and vitamin C is like the only vitamin that the body just cannot make. You have to eat it, and usually in citrus fruits, right? So there's vitamin C. Is water soluble, meaning that it dissolves in water, and because it dissolves in water, it's once you consume it, it goes directly into the bloodstream through going through digestion. So because it's in the bloodstream, it can easily be excreted out. So when you're taking too much of it, I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it means like you have expensive urine or something like that, because if you consume too many or too much, it just gets excreted out. The body doesn't hold on to it like the fat soluble vitamins. So these get easily excreted out, and you can easily unlike the fat soluble, you can easily become deficient in the vitamin C. But there's also vitamin B1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 9, and 12. The whole B complex is water soluble. So you want to make sure that you're getting those regularly, because like I said, water soluble vitamins, they can be excreted out quickly because it's just in the bloodstream. It's just running around. Now, the difference between vitamins and minerals, we're on minerals. Now, minerals are inorganic, meaning that they come from the earth. They're minerals. Now, there are a lot of minerals. In the soil, but there's not that many that we need for our bodies to thrive, and then on top of that, we need them in such small amounts, right? Some of them anyways. But then there's minerals. They're inorganic, meaning they don't come from living things. They come from the rock and the soil, and we can get them from the foods that we eat. And I don't know if you've ever heard this, but you can't get the minerals from the food if the minerals aren't in the soil, right? So when people talk about like the pesticides and stuff like that, you have to think about that, right? Because if the minerals are depleted in the soil, then how do you know if you're actually getting these minerals from the products that you're eating? Because that's the only way we can get them, okay? Now, most people do supplement with them, and that's good. But it makes about 4 to 5% percentage of our body weight. So you can get there mostly in like our bones, teeth, soft tissue, and stuff like that. So that's where the minerals are. Refined foods do not contain minerals. Now, you can easily get your vitamins and minerals from having a balanced diet, But obviously, if you have restrictions in your diet or whatever, then supplementation matters. Or if you know you don't have a balanced diet, then you probably want to be supplementing with some of those nutrients. But they class them in two different ways. So we have macro, which just means large. So these are the ones that you would need in large amounts, and that's calcium, phosphorus, potassium, sodium, and magnesium. And then there's the trace minerals that you would need in micro or micro minerals, the ones that you need in small amounts, which are zinc, copper, fluoride, manganese, chromium, and selenium, iodine, and iron. My son always picks me because I say iron. And iron, whatever, we know what it is. But there is your answer. That's the difference between vitamins and minerals. Vitamins come from organic things like the plants and stuff like that, things that are living. And then the minerals come from the earth, the soil. So that's the primary difference. And then we talked about fat soluble, water soluble, so you will know which ones, kind of accumulate in the body and which ones don't. And I hope this has been a blessing to you, and I hope I have enlightened you a little bit. I want to thank you and thank Jesus